Before we start this video, I just need to apologize to Callie, who's going to be editing this video. Sorry if it's TMI. Hey guys, it's Tiffany. What is freaking up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm doing another real girl talk. I did one about a month ago, and I'm not kidding, that was one of my favorite videos I've ever made for you guys, because I just got to talk to you guys like I was your bigger, older sister. I grew up with two older sisters, and I've asked them everything imaginable, and we literally talked about the most embarrassing things, and I was like, oh my god, so many people aren't able to talk to their best friends or parents about half the shit we're talking about. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go. First question I got asked that honestly, it's getting deep real fast is, do you compare your success to your YouTube friends? Yeah, I think we all do. I think if you guys were in my position, you would also compare your success with your friends as well. But that does not mean because I compare my own success with my best friends, that doesn't mean I'm not happy for them. I'm so freaking proud of my best friends. I think that's just the type of person I am. I'm not the type of person that easily gets jealous of other people because I know I have it so well. Lauren has her own HBO show. Remy has a very successful podcast. Mia is talented as fuck. Lauren and Remy have like the craziest work ethics. I'm very proud of them, and they work for exactly what they get. Ooh, this question is a very good question. How do you feel confident about your boyfriend seeing you down there? I'm gonna guess your kitty cat, your little kitty cat area is what you're talking about. What your boyfriend is seeing down there is magical to them. Like this kitty cat, magical. She knows I'm talking about kitty cats and she wanted to say hello. This is Shark, by the way. Just realize that, you know, the first time you see your boyfriend's penis, you're like, oh damn, he's saying the same thing about your vagina. I mean, how many boys you think are looking at a vagina being like, ew? No, they're not thinking that. I feel like as girls, we have this like stigma about our vaginas that they stink or they look ugly or they're not pretty. That's not true. And honestly, it took me a while to finally realize I had an attractive vagina. Sometimes I wonder where my career is going. What age did I lose my virginity? I feel like I got this asked so many times, and I can literally make a whole video just on first times, virginities, periods, whatever. You know what? It's been so long that I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I was like almost 16 or 16 years old. Any tips for when it comes to communication with your partner? Should I talk about sex before, during, or after, or all of the above? I feel like if you have a healthy relationship with your boyfriend, you should be talking about sex before, after, during, whenever. But I think if you're gonna have a conversation about his performance, definitely have it not during sex and not right after sex. I feel like waiting during like a neutral time when both of you guys are not horny to just talk about sex. I do think during sex, there is a good time to talk about sex. Say he's doing something that is out of the ordinary that you really like. Tell him you like it in that moment so that he keeps doing it. Sex is a form of intimacy. Don't be scared to communicate about it because maybe he even has some feedback for you. So it's like a positive experience for everyone. So yes, losing your virginity, was it awkward or perfect? You know what? I will say I did lose my virginity to a guy I really freaking cared about. We had been dating for a good amount of time before we had sex, and I'm not gonna lie, we did not plan on having sex that day. Like it just like happened. He like, I don't know why I was so naive, but like he wanted to get naked and he wanted me to get naked and he wanted to just like hump. And my dumbass was like, okay, let's try that. Not thinking at all that it was, the pee was gonna go in the other pee. Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna happen, but it happened and it wasn't awkward at all. Actually, it got more awkward as it kept happening. Like the second time we did it, that was really painful because I wasn't as horny. Not gonna lie, I did not use a condom the first time and I freaked the fuck out and I thought I was gonna get pregnant. Highly don't suggest doing that at all. Just make sure you have a condom. Don't let him inside you unless he has a condom on. Lesson learned. It was not awkward, but I wouldn't say it was perfect either, but it did feel really nice. What do you think about online dating? Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, etc. I think it's amazing because that is how I found my future husband. my god, maybe I'm gonna regret saying that. That's how I found Matthew. That's why Matthew and I are together. We actually dated because of Hinge, so shout out to Hinge. The funny thing is, Hinge has sponsored me in the past, and I was like, yo, literally, I 100% believe in Hinge. My only experience with any dating app was literally Hinge, but honestly, I downloaded Hinge not thinking I was gonna find anyone serious. I just wanted to get laid. But instead, I am currently now in a 2-year relationship because of Hinge. Okay, these are actually so fun to answer. I love making these types of videos. What is your opinion on one-night stands? I have personally never had a one-night stand, but in college, I used to think I was capable of having a one-night stand, and I wanted to have a one-night stand. For me, one-night stands have never happened, but I don't judge anyone that has one-night stands. I think that is so cool. I wish I was capable of doing that. Physically and emotionally, I just can't. Like, I will not get wet for a person unless I know your deepest, darkest secrets. So good luck with trying to bed me. The next question I got asked was spit or swallow. If you're talking about water, I always swallow. Duh. How do you get over an eating disorder? Any advice on overcoming fear of foods? As you guys know, I had an eating disorder when I was in college, and I had it for roughly 6 or 7 months, but I did struggle with like little things here and there, maybe another 7 or 8 months after that. What has made me have a healthier relationship with food in general is that I no longer restrict myself, and I know how hard that sounds, but that has allowed me to have a healthier relationship with food where I can eat or drink boba every single day. I can have candy or I can have alcohol every single day if I wanted to, and not letting myself restrict myself in any way has allowed me not to binge on food. Talking about it really helped me in a really weird way, because you feel like it's a secret that eats up inside of you. Being able to talk about it with other people not only helped me realize how stupid and unhealthy my habits were, because they knew about it, I can no longer do those habits in secret. Also, I think you have to realize that overcoming your eating disorder takes time. It's not gonna be instantaneous. I was so anxious about messing up that it made things worse for me. Hold on, this lighting is getting weird. Okay, we're gonna move you guys this way. The next question I got asked is from Mia Sayoko. When are you having kids I can babysit and corrupt? Excuse me, when are you having kids so I can corrupt them? I used to think I wanted to have babies before I was 30 years old, and that's happening in like 3 years, so I just want babies. I just want cute little babies running around, which is so unlike anything I've ever said. Like, literally talk to me over 2 years ago and I'd be like, fuck babies, I don't want babies. But I think that just shows how much Matt and I were meant to be together. And it's funny because Matt said he didn't want babies either until he had met me, so I don't know. I don't know what that means, but it means something. Does using birth control mean he doesn't have to pull out? I mean, yes. Literally the best thing about being on birth control is that the partner does not need to pull out. But if you want to be extra careful and you want to be extra positive you don't get pregnant, then make sure you're on birth control and he pulls out. And if you want to be extra careful, then be on birth control, use a condom, and make sure he pulls out. Okay, the next question I got asked was, how is life behind the scenes? Are you always that cheerful and happy? I will say I'm a very positive person in general. Not like overly positive, but I have a positive outlook on life. I don't struggle with depression, which I'm very lucky about because I do have family members and friends that do struggle with anxiety and depression. And I think it's because I struggled a lot as a child. This is actually something I want to talk about in my podcast. I did not grow up in the best setting, so now me being an adult, I just know how much better my life is now. And I don't think I've ever said this in a video, but I grew up behind a trailer park when I was a kid. Like, I grew up in the ghetto, and it's something I used to be so embarrassed to tell other people. So now I feel literally so blessed with my life and where it's at, that I'm just naturally a happy person. I think I own up to everything that has ever happened in my life. I don't blame other people for what's happened in my life, and I think that's why I'm the person I am. What are my biggest fears? I don't know if it's a fear, but I used to think I was never gonna live past the age of 32, and Matt hates it when I speak it out to the world because he thinks I'm manifesting it, but I don't believe that anymore. So I used to never be able to see my future, and that was until I met Matthew. I could not imagine myself with kids. I couldn't imagine myself being married to anyone. But now that I met Matt, I don't know. Now I can imagine a future. I do have my own insecurities and fears with not being successful. And I know everyone thinks I'm very successful. And Matt tells me all the time, my parents are so happy for where I am in life. I'm just like the person that's like, I want to make sure I'm a very independent person. I never want to rely on anybody. Literally, my biggest fear is having to rely on someone else, which kind of sucks for my relationship with Matthew, because sometimes he feels like I don't rely on him, but that's because it scares the shit out of me to have to be like, yes, I need you in my life. So like having to need people is a big fear of mine. You guys are getting to know me so well in this video, okay? So I hope you guys are enjoying this. The next question I got asked was, girl, how are you doing? And that's really nice of you to ask me. I'm doing really well. I miss being able to do shit outside without having to wear a mask. Family life is good. I saw my sisters. Definitely feeling a change is happening in my career, where I'm trying to be a little bit more mature with my content, and it scares me a little bit because I feel like you guys haven't totally agreed with it just yet, or a lot of my viewers aren't totally used to seeing me in this light, so it makes me a little sad. But overall, other than that, really good. Are you guys both really touchy like Lauren and Jeremy said? Also, I love you guys. Interracial goals. Thank you. Well, Lauren and Jeremy called us out, and I'm not gonna lie, I have not watched that podcast. I've watched like 90% of their podcasts. This must be a podcast I completely missed because I got a lot of DMs about it, and I was like, which podcast are you guys talking about? Yeah, it's like a running joke. I feel like every time Matt and I kiss, like literally we'll just kiss, like a quick little peck, they'll be like, get a room. And I think it's literally a joke that they have with Matt and I. Lauren and Jeremy and Matt and I will have double dates all the time. They're my favorite couple to have double dates with. Matt and Jeremy get along like this. Lauren and I have been best friends for such a long time. So it's like really fun to all be hanging out together. Yeah, they think we're really touchy-feely. I don't think we're that touchy-feely. If we're gonna be real honest, Lauren, there was one time you and Jeremy were being very feely at karaoke for Alfred's birthday, and you know what I'm talking about, and you know Matt and I have never gotten to that point. Just remember, I saw you guys at Alfred's party with my own 2 eyes, so I don't know what you're talking about. Was, did your parents / family / friends disapprove of you dating a non-Asian? Actually, out of all the guys I've dated, she's been the least supportive of the actual Asians I've dated, which is crazy. So the 2 Asians I've dated, my mom was not a fan of them. My mom, when I was young, not gonna lie, was like, you need to date a nice Chinese or Vietnamese or Korean man or Japanese man. Like, she definitely wanted me to date someone who was East Asian or Southeast Asian so she could relate to them. But I think she's realized that as long as I'm happy, she's happy, and she loves Matthew. My mom loves him to death, and that's because Matt, I don't know what, but his mama taught him right. The next question I got asked is how to use a tampon. Oh man. The learning curve to use a tampon is insane. I would highly suggest watching a couple videos on YouTube, looking at the instructions on the box and inside the box, and making sure you insert the tampon high enough. Biggest no-no is not inserting it deep enough, because that's when it feels really weird. Because if it's inserted deep enough, you literally don't feel it at all. The next question I got asked is, what's the best way to stay on good terms with an ex-boyfriend? Oh, man. That's a really good question, because I tried to stay on really good terms with my ex-boyfriend, and it didn't work at all. I will say the biggest things not to do if you want to stay good terms with an ex is, 1, talking shit about them. Don't talk shit about them to your friends. Don't talk shit about them to your parents. You have to have a positive mindset about it. Even if it ended crazily, you shouldn't be talking shit about your friends. Anyways, another good way to stay on good terms with them is setting boundaries. Like, don't give them a key to your place. If you guys are sharing a dog, like, let them know the schedule. Like, be on a schedule. If you guys are sharing kids, be on a schedule. So you are literally being so cute and distracting right now. What are you doing, hon? Kiss. Kiss. Oh go. You good girl. Yeah, I think as long as you set boundaries, don't talk shit about them, and don't talk about your exes, you guys are good. Is it okay to be unsure about your relationship? Is that a red flag? Being vulnerable enough to be in love or to allow someone to know how much you need them in your life is so scary. So like sometimes your brain will self-sabotage itself by questioning your relationship. Now, it's different if you're questioning your relationship because there are red flags, then that's a different story. But if it's like casual, like you're questioning it, you're kind of bored, you're not really sure, you're kind of too scared to like really stick with them, that's totally normal. I've had that situation, I've had those thoughts in every single one of my relationships, including Matthew. And I'm sure Matthew's had them about me as well. Like sometimes I act crazy and I'm sure he's like, I don't know about this girl. And sometimes he acts crazy and I'm like, I don't know about this. But at the end of the day, you have to choose the other person. And if you're willing to choose the other person, you guys are gonna work out. But if you're unsure because there are actual red flags in the relationship, then get the fuck out. How do you feel about masturbation? When should you start? I don't think there's a certain age when you are ready to masturbate. I personally think if you're already thinking about masturbating, then you are ready to masturbate. And I hate that there's a stigma that it's bad. And I know in religion, masturbating is a bad thing, it's a sin, it's whatever. I don't think so at all. How are you supposed to realize what you like if you don't play with yourself as well? I believe masturbation is very freaking healthy. Even if you're in a relationship, it's okay to just jack off in the shower. It's okay to like touch yourself when they're gone. It's okay. I think there shouldn't be a bad stigma about it. But when it comes to age, it really depends, because I know people who've done it at a very young age. I mean, I remember discovering my own body at a very young age, and I think that's okay. When you're a kid, you don't really know what's bad or good until someone tells you it's bad or good. But I will say, when I was young and I grew up kind of religious, where I actually went to church every single week, I remember feeling very guilty after I would masturbate. And now that I'm an adult, realizing how healthy it is, not just for myself but my relationship, I think it's great. Also, I think it's kind of fun to do it during sex as well. If he plays with you, if you play with him, if you play with yourself, he's playing with himself. I think it's all fun and games. I think it's your body, your choice. You're literally not hurting a single soul if you are masturbating. So if you want to do it, do it. The next question I got asked is, how often do you have sex? Matt and I like to have sex at least once or twice a week. Sometimes it's like 4, sometimes it's like 3, sometimes it's like twice in 48 hours. It really depends. I don't think we've ever gone more than like a whole week without having sex. Would you ever consider doing an OnlyFans? Yeah, guys, yes. Let's be honest. Every single girl has thought about it. If I can take photos of myself and make money off of it, hell yeah. And there are so many girls on OnlyFans that don't even do naked pictures. It's literally them in bikinis. I mean, I think I watched a video from Millie T where she made $16,000 and all she posted was bikini photos. I'm like, hell yeah. But would I actually do it? No. I love the idea of OnlyFans. I'm super supportive of anyone who's on OnlyFans. I think if you need to get your coin and you're doing it legally, get your fucking coin. I don't think it's okay to discriminate against sex workers or shame sex workers for what they do. I personally will not have an OnlyFans. If I do have an OnlyFans, it will be dedicated to these pretty little toes. And with that being said, the mic has dropped. I hope you guys enjoyed today's Real Girl Talk video. I definitely shared a lot more information with you guys than I thought I would. I feel like as I've gotten older, I've become more honest with who I am as a person and how I've become the person who I am. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I do have a question for you guys that I want you guys to ask as genuinely as possible, and that is, how are you guys doing? Like I said earlier, I'm doing fine. I definitely have times where I'm not doing too well. I want to know how you guys are doing. What are you guys doing today? How's your family? How's your pets? How's your boyfriend? Are you in love? Are you not in love? So I love when you guys comment. I literally read every single freaking comment that I ever get, so feel free to leave me some comments, and I will see you guys in my next video. I love you guys. Bye guys. Bye.
Hey, you the best part of every single day. Ooh, no matter what I do, I'll be lost in you.